The kind of weather we've been seeing can get really dangerous, even deadly, if you're not ready for it and not careful.
Yeah, you know, they say on a hot day about 1 out of every 100 ER visits here in Maricopa County is for heat-related emergencies. So with such a long extended heat advisory here in the valley, are there more people being rushed to the ER these days because of the hot temperatures? Kylie is joining us with more on what the reality is. Hey, Kylie.
Hey, good morning, guys. We're here at Tempe Town Lake. It is a beautiful sight to see, but obviously it certainly does not feel beautiful. But the water is here. We've seen some kayakers this morning, some guys fishing, and some people kind of milling around. This guy taking in a run here. It's in the 90s and it's only 7 o'clock. And like you guys mentioned, we joke about the heat, but we know it's deadly. In Maricopa County, a record 323 people died of heat-related deaths last year. So we decided to visit with Valleywise Medical Center, where docs are already seeing an uptick in heat-related illnesses. ER doctor Frank Lavecchio says your first warning signs are muscle cramps and aches in your thigh, your back. Things can get worse when you start to feel like you're in an altered state. You're not thinking clearly. At that point, he says it's urgent to get inside and drink water ASAP. The most serious situation when your body temperature really starts to climb. We talked to Dr. Lavecchio about some of the illnesses he's already seeing in his patients in the ER.
What we're seeing now is many burns. People are burning themselves. We see homeless folks who maybe walk around the streets. This pavement is extremely hot, and we see lots of foot burns. We see people falling asleep outside. Maybe they have no place to live. And unfortunately, we see many, at least second-degree burns all along their arms, their back, their legs.
And obviously, Dr. Lavecchio doesn't recommend people be outside, especially for an extended period of time, but he knows that some people work outside. He knows that some people, you want to get your little morning exercise in. We've got people with their fishing lines. We've got people on the bike as well. So if you are going to be outside, have a nice bike ride. Stay cool. He says you want to drink at least 32 ounces of water an hour. So that is, he said it's a lot of water, but you definitely want to have at least 2 water bottles every single hour you are outside. So we know we talk about this every single time we have a heat wave, but this one is very prolonged, guys, and it is hitting us, and it's definitely a shock to the system. So make sure you do all that you can to stay safe. We do not want to see those heat-related deaths again climb this year.
Kylie, I think it'd be a great ending to this live shot if you jumped in the lake.
It is very tempting, but I don't want to lose my wedding ring. No, I'm not married yet. My engagement ring. Yeah. Because can you imagine that? I did get it insured, but hey, sorry, Sam. Lost that ring you got me. Because that would happen to me.
Blame it on Scott.
All right, forget the lake. Forget the lake and just drink those 2 bottles of water.
There
How's
you
that?
go. I was just teasing.
Okay, I'm going to chug these.
I was only kidding.
Here we go with temperatures, though. The big story, I think, for today, triple digits here in the next hour or so. This afternoon, we are going to climb all the way to about 115, a new record.
All right, Tapo, with these temperatures on the rise, so is the risk for heat exhaustion and heat stroke. You'll also have to worry about severe burns out there, too.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, because of that, because of all those cases, as you can imagine, it makes for a busy time in the emergency room. So Kylie's finding out how they are getting ready for the influx. Kylie, good morning.
Hey, good morning. It is day 3 and we've got some days to go. We're here at Tempe Town Lake. I can tell you we got here a little before 7 and I was surprised. There were a lot of people kind of out and about. There were people in the water. There were people jogging. There were people biking, and now it has cleared out because it feels significantly warmer just within the last, I would say, 45 minutes or so. But still, you can see kind of in a distance, there's people jogging, there's people biking and walking. On hot days, 1 out of every 100 ER visits in Maricopa County are heat related. So we decided to kind of check in with an ER to see what they have been dealing with over the past couple of days. So we talked to Valleywise Medical Center near 24th Street and Roosevelt. And after a record 323 people died of heat related deaths in Maricopa County last year, ER doc Frank Lavecchio is worried about this prolonged heat wave. He says the emergency room over at Valleywise is seeing an uptick in heat related illnesses. People are now coming in, they're dehydrated, or maybe they're suffering from heat stroke.
So this weekend overnight, we've had a handful of patients with heat-related illness. Many of them are homeless folks. Many of them actually in Central Phoenix don't have air conditioning and just getting super warm in their house, coming in with syncope or passing out. When you come in and you pass out, and most likely it's related to the heat, it's still a very extensive workup that might include CAT scans, might include lots of analysis of your heart, and things that could have been avoided with just hydration and keeping cool.
So obviously things can get pretty serious quickly. Dr. Lavecchio says your first warning signs are muscle cramps and aches in your thigh or back. Things get more serious when you start to feel like you're in an altered state. Maybe you're not thinking clearly, you're lightheaded or dizzy. And at that point, it's urgent to get inside, drink water ASAP. Obviously, you might need to visit the emergency room. Coming back out here live as we take a peek at Tempe Town Lake, you can see there are people out in the water. That's probably the coolest place to be. You've got a paddleboarder out there and a kayaker out there. Dr. Lavecchio says, finally, if you are going to be outside, if you do work outside, he wants you to drink a lot of water. So this is how much water you should be drinking. He says 32 ounces at least on average every hour. So that is 2 big waters that you should be having. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, however long you're outside.